will record this so that we have it. Good morning, world.
Hi.
Beautiful day in San Francisco, California. I would love to share with you Coltrane Lord, the best-selling author of Love Avatar, Unleash Your Divine Feminine Superpowers and Awake the Goddess Within. Coltrane helps women unleash divine feminine genius to experience soul love and soul purpose. Today, we're going to talk about advice that matters on liner notes. Liner notes are the insight the artists or curators offer into what's really going on at the time of creation and what inspired the recording, the masterpiece, the manuscript to be what it is. Michelle Hoffmann's liner notes is imperative insight and curated wisdom you need to inspire you to unblock your potential. In a changing world, you can find your unique path and to create balance and enjoy an abundant life with all the resources you need. I'm Michelle Hoffmann. I help business owners and CEOs focus on your zone of genius, reduce the overwhelm, give you more time to do what you love, and increase your income by helping your managers develop highly professional teams and high-performing teams that meet the revenue goals. Discover how I can help you and your company succeed at lightthesparklady@gmail.com. Today, we get to speak with Coltrane Lord. Coltrane, you are a unique and wonderful goddess. It's amazing that we get to talk with you today. What kind of people come to you and what's their dream come true?
Well, number one, first I'm going to say hello because this is my very, very first live on Facebook, anything. So hi, everyone. So what people come to me, women come to see me because they are looking for something that they can't put a finger on. So it's a very esoteric essence feeling. It is that peace, that energy that allows them to tap into what it is innately to be woman. And I know that sounds odd to be a woman in a woman's body, but even trans people who are going from male to female, there's an energy called the feminine energy, and it doesn't have anything to do with biology. It has to do with an essence. And right now in the world, we are seeing an unconscious masculine energy that is oppressing and creating a lot of danger in our bodies. And so the feminine, the woman who comes to me, is looking for her truest self, to ignite her truest self and feel comfortable and at home in her body.
There we go. Now I understand. So it's discovering or knowing that you're not settled and not feeling that divine essence of femininity, and then searching for your truest self within that. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Feeling, when I say coming home to yourself, it's intimate self-love. It's knowing all the personas in your being, your multifaceted soul. We have that in practicality. We play the role of mother, we play the role of executive, we play the role of writer. In our soul's essence, we also have that energy. And when we, as a feminine energy, is a multitude of, we're shapeshifters. When we understand each one of those energies, we can get to essential self, which is void of personality and allows us to tap into infinite space and infinite potential. And it's our truest form of confidence, and it's our truest form of empowerment.
So just women and I guess people all over the world so it's like, how do we know we don't have it?
So thank you for that, because the women, back to your first question, the women who usually come to me have experienced either a betrayal or loss in love. They aren't connected intimately with another with a partner. And also they don't understand what they're doing in life. They aren't connected to their purpose, their central purpose. But usually it's in relationship, actually. And in our relationships, our intimate relationships, that's our deepest and most profound set of lessons, because we are now opening up to our inner self when we have to open up to somebody else. So having problems in relationships, oftentimes women will come to me because of that. And then we explore even deeper the spiritually feminine side of themselves, which is in the very center of themselves.
So if a woman is feeling like there's that nagging something that's just not right, and they're not feeling connected to their truest self, their inner knowing femininity, and they're not getting the feeling that they understand their essential self. And that might come out in ways of having miscommunications with partners, having disconnects or misalignment in the workplace, having a general feeling of not being connected in the world. And especially when you're looking to find yourself and partner with someone else. Those are the kinds of people who come to you?
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
And when you help them, what do you help them become? What is that dream come true that they can move into?
So when they come to me, they think that they're getting a lesson on how to interact and have a relationship with another person, a boss, a partner, intimate partner, mostly intimate partners. What we do first is get in intimacy and in relationship to self.
Okay.
I will teach a woman to first fall madly in love with herself, because you are in your body for your whole life. You started out with your body and yourself, and you end with yourself. So to have a relationship with yourself internally is the most important thing to anything external. And that includes a relationship with a boss, a relationship with a child. These are patterns that we have in our being. And to know who we are first, at the most, our core essence, allows us to be completely aligned. And then we can have interaction with another person and intimacy with another person. So what I'm doing specifically is, if your audience understands the chakra system and the whole body, it's getting aligned and awakening every chakra in your body and having and understanding the relationship you have with it and your inner personas, shadow and light, in each chakra. And then I do a lot of ritual photography so that you can actually witness yourself in these archetypes, and then understand, not be narrated by them, but to narrate them into your life. So lover is an archetype that a lot of moms don't use. They use mom, and they say mom. And wife is not also lover. Wife is a supportive role. And so to shape shift into these different personas and these different energies throughout our body naturally allows us to flow with conversation, flow in a room, understand our right action in the world.
So what you help women with when they are not feeling connected with themselves enough to actually have these essential relationships with other people is the ability to understand who they are and who they can be in the world, rather than getting stuck in one role and then maybe being dissatisfied that, oh, I'm only mother, I've lost lover. Oh, I'm only lover, where is wife and partner? So is that kind of what you're talking about, where we can actually be all of these things with a natural flow between them? And then we see them with it. You help us see them within ourselves. But then you mentioned something that was like, whoa, you do a ritual photography. So then that's a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's great. So
Everyone's so critical on images of themselves.
yeah, it's amazing. So even I'll talk to your clientele, which is the executive woman. Yes, is that true?
Yep.
So a lot of times we have women who are in the workforce, and they are putting on a masculine mask in order to attend to the masculine energy in the room, right? So no one is seeing this woman as a full woman. They're seeing her as a role. And then she loses often, if she doesn't practice her feminine energy, she'll lose that piece of her, or it becomes hidden and shamed because that's not how she succeeds in the world. Sometimes people are lonely when they go home. Sometimes they can't interact with their partners because they don't have that easy flow. Their partners might have more feminine energy, so they keep the masculine energy to keep the polarity. So when I do the photography and the ritual, what I'm not just talking to you, you guys aren't just listening to my words, you are embodying this essence. What does it mean to feel like a lover? To be surrendered instead of empowered at work, because that is really an important aspect. Or if you have a lot of surrendered and victim energy, what does it feel like and look like to be an empowered lioness? So I take a lot of the metaphorical images and transform a woman in her image, but she's first done it internally, and then we do it externally. And so I'm actually not religious, but I will use this. I'm spiritual, not religious. So Jesus Christ didn't become Jesus Christ until someone witnessed him as. So you don't become beautiful until you believe you're beautiful, until you see and witness yourself and feel it. You're witnessing yourself. It's amazing, actually. And it's scary. It's a big trigger for a lot of women.
Well, it is, because, I was thinking about this. It's like, even Beyonce, who's like the most gorgeous, talented, abundant, full feminine woman, totally empowered.
Yep.
As I understand, before she goes on stage, she channels, as you were saying, this multifaceted energy, and which she calls Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she goes in with Sasha. When we see her on stage, and when we get to hear her, robust, energy through music,
Amazing.
we get to experience Sasha Fierce. Now, for me, when I prepare for something like that, I prepare, and my energy is Beyonce. So it goes around.
Yeah, amazing. And so we each have that. You can name her Beyonce, you can name her whatever you want to name her. In every facet of our life, this is going to go very esoteric now, in a different dimension. This is creative consciousness. We are the gods and goddesses, the deities of the energetic world, are wanting to express themselves through us. These are the energies that you've come in with. So Sasha Fierce is her empowered energy.
Got it.
Right? Yeah. And she sings through her, but it is her.
It is her.
And she's also tapping into the collective of that fiercely feminine, creative, sensual woman. She's pulling all those things into that being. Why I like to do this photography for women is because Beyonce is a superstar, and all these other superstars get to be that sexy woman, get to be that empowered woman, and then real people are shamed for it. We aren't allowed to be all things, but Beyonce is empowering us and igniting us and inspiring us to do that very thing. And then we don't feel comfortable because we're not famous. And I say, I won't swear now, but F that. And be that woman, be that superstar, be that rock star, be that supermodel, be Sasha Fierce,
right,
for yourself and no one else.
So when you're thinking, you take these pictures, and then how do you help people not suddenly go back into those shamed feelings of, oh, we don't look like the supermodel, superstar, rock star, when we see images of ourselves? How do you help people overcome that or
Yeah.
get
Yeah, so before you take an image with me, you go through ritual and ceremony. So we'll go through our chakra system. We'll go through the shadow of, let's just call it lover. What's the shadow of your lover? And we're allowed to talk about this online. The shadow of our lover is always has to do with our sexual shame, right? So if we have that, how can we open up to another being? And so if we work on the shadow piece and turn that into the divine lover, and then do embodied ritual, movement, writing, experiential experiences that awaken the lover within, and then we shoot it. And then I also add on to after we do the photography, I add on her voice, like your voice, like I am an empowered woman, I am Sasha Fierce, and I put it in a little video collage so that she can use this as her own voice is being empowering her, and then she's witnessing her images as she is going through life. So it's a constant reminder of your own beauty, of your own power, of your own yumminess.
right?
So that's how it's practice, actually.
Super beautiful, because what I'm hearing you say, and I love that you even questioned it in that moment, because it's a reminder of, we do take a moment and question, is it okay to move from the shadow or shame to move into the light and our own light? And the fact that you hold space for women in that intimate place where we may be feeling shadowed, and you're an incredible photographer, where we can then, and you play with light and you see light and you can identify how shining a light or adding the contrast of shadow can actually make something so much more outstanding and robust, and move back what we don't need and highlight what we do. What a beautiful gift.
It's great. Well, I always say shadow and light, don't get rid of them. Use them. Use your shadow as your power, and
Right.
bring in the light, and that creates sparkle.
Oh, that's my thing.
Yeah, I know. So shadow and light is sparkle, and shadow is the fuel for your power. And so instead of hiding from it, what I'm doing is I'm making art of it and transforming it. So you become your own masterpiece, your own beautiful creation. And it's an evolution of the self. And when we get from that presentational space, then we go into this spiritual space, which is a whole set of other magical qualities that come out. And then you start to live with radiance. You start to ignite with radiance, and then you walk around the world with this radiance and this special, unique you, and then you just kind of ignite other people. It's really beautiful.
Oh, I'm super loving this. So I want to make sure that I can identify the process that you help women go through to understand their divine feminine power and experience soul love and their soul purpose, because those are all part of what you're helping women to identify and create. So let's just do a quick review and then help me correct that, because you help the women figure out in several different ways, be it chakra, divine feminine, figuring out who they really are, and identifying their many faceted roles in life, and then you give them the means to flow through to be all of those things. And one that I know is actually, as you were pointing out, thank you, because when we're in the workplace, we tend to use force rather than finesse on projects to get through the process. And that's that masculine energy to push it through, when in fact we can use finesse to allow flow and be all of who we truly are in that. And then once you've got somebody grounded in who they are and aligned, then, and witnessing themselves, then you take, then it becomes a photo session so that they can literally witness themselves. And you're playing with shadow, you're playing with light to bring that divine power and highlight it to the forefront. What did you say? Shadow is the fuel plus light is the spark. I just want that written all over my walls.
Right over your walls. I love it. Thank you.
And so then with that, they can witness themselves. And so not only is it a still life, but then you create movement in it through a video compilation and you add their own voice to remind them. So even if you forget, so on your dullest, dreariest day that you can't get out of bed for whatever reason, you can recall this experience and realize that you actually do have that power within you. Did I get it right? What else is, tell us more.
Tell you more on the process or on how this will work, you know. So
up to you. It's your story.
Yeah, and so so when you, so for example, if you're going to talk about the women who go to work, so they have this energy and they're tapping in now to all of them. I mean, in my process, it takes a while, right? It's not, you can't just ignite all these energies at once. We go with the first ones that hold us back mostly. So in your world, in terms of interacting with the masculine in that space, we'd have to actually go to the shadow side of power.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to gain power over? Are you trying to have a voice? Are you trying to create a voice that's not been heard? What's your inner masculine doing? Do you have an unhealed inner masculine? What's that relationship with the masculine in your life? And are you projecting that onto these people in the office, right? So when we do that, we also, I mean, more process as we create the story. We create, it goes on and on and on. It could go on, but once we get those shadows taken care of or acknowledged, and we live with it, and we unshame and reclaim our power, we step out into the world with this new energy. And basically it's owning it and then being, I'm going to say, public with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starting to do right action in the world. And when our energies are aligned, I do a writing process, a creative writing process at the end of it, which is fully, we're activated. We found all the archetypes in our being that are accessing or wanting to be expressed at the moment. And then we put it together in a constellation of self.
Nice.
And then we do a little creative writing, which is, what's my purpose?
Right.
And then from that place, who am I? And what is my purpose? And what am I grateful for? From that place, those three questions, or what do I desire? Those four questions in a nugget, that it helps you. It's that golden thread that allows you to go through life in alignment. So your soul lover will come to you, your soul family will come to you, and everything you say, do, and feel is through that lens. And so your purpose and what you do in the world is aligned with how you are in the world.
This is so gorgeous.
Thank you.
Because people try so hard. We all try so hard to do the right thing and be in the right place and look the right way. And it takes so much effort. And if we don't create this avatar of ourselves that we feel other people want to see, then we start to shame ourselves like we're not enough. Mm. And from what you're saying, it sounds like actually we can understand ourselves. We can understand our purpose. We can understand what we're grateful for and what we would like our lives to be. And oh my God, I so adore this. I've got my own golden thread theory of when you're feeling down or weak or, you know, vulnerable, and you don't have that resilience, then this golden thread through our body is brittle and weak and thin. And when you can transform that so that your whole self is in alignment with yourself, then every single action you take brings you to inevitable success in the direction that you're going. And that golden thread, I mean, you said it the same way that I talk about it with my clients as well, and that I've always believed it, that it's like abundant and you've got this glowing energy that comes from you. There's nothing you can do to shut that down, nor do you need to. And that then becomes the beacon to manifest and invite, like a lighthouse, what you're looking for, that it will naturally and easily come to you. And when we see that happen in other people, we go, oh, it's so easy for them. Why is it so hard for me?
Right.
And so you're actually making an opportunity, creating that channel to make it easy instead of making it so hard. Wow.
Yeah. And so when we are unconscious of ourselves, we are unconscious in the world. And when we become conscious, it's a difference between being and doing. So when we are, we start to do in the aligned way, not doing to become. We just got to flip it a little bit. I call it the arc of being. So you be who, that highest vibration of self, and then you start doing in that way. And then the universe or the energies, it's the law of attraction, like attracts like. So I call this the law of existence, the law of being. The universe gives you what you want at the level of being that you are. So when you decide that you are the highest, most divine being on this planet, you will get what is required for you to live in that space. So if you're a divine being, you have soul love. If you're a divine being, you have soul purpose. But we have to get rid of the shames that take, the trust in that piece of divineness.
So it's really, your clients would come to you because they know there's something more, but they don't know how to get there.
Yeah. And I'm not, a lot of people will say, oh, but you have this and you have that. I actually walk this path of darkness. I have in my lifetime, not to, just so people feel comfortable with me and my ability to hold space. In my lifetime, I've had abuse, poverty, betrayal, suicide, annihilation of my soul. I mean, there is, my upbringing has not been easy. And so my father had guns to my mother's head. So there are things like that in my experience where I've actually frozen and lost my spirituality because of an upbringing that was very tough. And what I found was the universe will knock your socks off, throw a brick in front of your face unless you awaken to her energy. And when you awaken and trust in her energy, you start to flow and see everything is your creation, your making. And then when we be and we sit in and come home to the divinity in ourselves, we co-create the next wave. We co-create the next chapter, the next book. And so now you are in charge of your own life instead of being charged and hit by it.
Right.
So
you talked about, and I'm sorry for all of those experiences because we wish the best for everyone. At the same time, what you've done is you've taken your life experience and simmered down the most important things to actually help and guide other people through it, which is a true gift because everyone can run into those types of obstacles. We try to, you were talking about shadows, and I think it's funny that I've got them coming all over me. Thank you. But it is, everyone has a story, and it's, thank you for being witness to mine, and thank you for sharing us so that we can witness yours. And it's really, how do you choose to walk that path within that story, and who do you become to attract who you need?
Yeah.
So you talked about these are some of the obstacles that we could run into, but what would be a signal to someone that would be a very clear sign that it's time to reach out to someone like you so that they can move from those traumatic situations to have the tools on hand to become their divine feminine?
So this is going to sound cliche because this is what everyone will say, but when you're feeling stuck, like literally, like I'm in the pause mode, like I'm in the pause mode. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do right now with my life. Right. So it's almost as if you're holding your breath, waiting for the voodoo doll pins to come stick. Right. You're like, I can't breathe. And that's when I think you need to take an exhale and breathe in the feminine energy, right? Those are pieces. When you're in an experience, a betrayal, that's I feel like I'm an expert on that. First, I'm an expert on Betrayal to Bliss. That was my first book. So when you have an experience in life that knocks you off your feet,
mm-hmm.
and it has to do with your essence. It has to do with your the things that you're afraid to acknowledge, right? A desire. If you don't have a desire, if you don't have zero desire right now, that's a sign.
Yeah.
You don't know what you desire. How does anyone else know how to serve you?
How can they give you?
And how can you go for anything?
Right.
And this is not a desire as in a physical like a shallow desire. Like I want a car, I want a fancy Ferrari. Like that's not what I mean. What I mean is, do you want to go places? Let's use the metaphorical term. Do I want to get places? And do I want to feel luxury? Do I want to feel abundant? And most women actually don't actually know how to desire. They don't have a clue how to have a desire. And that's sad because a lot of us are taught not to be selfish, not to want too much. And the divine and the world is abundant. You can have anything you want. And when you're in your divine space, you're not going to want anything bad for you or for other people. So
if you're feeling like you are expecting the whole world to fulfill your desires, but you don't know even what they are, it seems like an obvious setup to get what you're not looking for. So if you can't feel what you really know in your heart of hearts that you want to desire, you don't even know where to start to create that desire. If you're feeling like you're going through life with force rather than finesse, and you aren't even, or you're stuck in one of those personas, only employee, only mom, only, codependent, someone or another, and you don't know how to adjust your life so that you're having that intimate, awakened relationship with yourself and others, then that would be clearly a time to reach out to someone like Coltrane. And you can reach Coltrane at lordcoltrane@gmail.com, LORDCOLTRANE@gmail.com, or www.lordcoltrane.com/love-avatar. And that should be in the link below so that you can see it. Coltrane, thank you so much for sharing this incredibly important advice that matters.
Thank you. I loved seeing everybody. Hi, bye. Sparkle.